on iCloud. Okay. Good morning. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we're going to start doing these calls every week. Hopefully you guys can hop on. We'll make them kind of like either some weeks it'll be accountability and goals, and we'll all just kind of talk together. And then some weeks I'll have some specific topics. And so today's topic is on attracting your tribe. Okay. And there's a lot of specifics. So if you can take notes, I highly recommend it. And I'm going to jump right in because I got a lot of good stuff for you guys. So the very first thing I want to talk about are the three key ingredients. And I really believe in these three things in order to build your team and your business. The very first one is a strong belief in there's three things, part of this too. Strong belief in A, the product, B, the business, and C, yourself. And I'm going to dive into what I mean. I'm going to dive into each one of those things in just a moment. So first one is strong belief in the product, the business, and yourself. Number two is a strong commitment. And number three is to remain coachable. So let's go back to number one, a strong belief in the product. If I had never been a Beachbody coach, I would still use the product. And that's very important that you have to have that belief. If I had never been a coach, I still would have been a customer no matter what, because the product has and is still changing my life physically. It's helped me with my confidence, working out. I never would have gone to teaching or any of these things if it wasn't for what Beachbody did for me from a physical aspect, right? But that affected me in every other way as well. But if I had never been a coach, if all of a sudden coaching disappeared, let's say Beachbody didn't have coaches, would you purchase the product? You've got to have that belief in it. Number two is a belief in the business. And I think this is where a lot of new coaches really struggle because they haven't seen the success in the business yet. So I think back to when I was still a pretty new coach, but I was attracting my tribe. You have to have that belief. And for me, it was actually a belief in MLM. And I'll share my story. So my husband did a multi-level marketing company before me, and I hated it. I hated the cult-like feeling that they had. I hated that we spent a lot of money to purchase into the business, but I never saw anything back. But there was one thing that company did for me, and it did teach me that there is an opportunity to build a very successful business in multi-level marketing. So I had that belief in the business model, but I didn't believe in the product. Okay. And that's why it didn't really work out. I was that spouse that just couldn't stand what her husband was doing, and it's a recipe for failure. I'll tell you that right now. But I did believe in multi-level marketing. And if you look at the highest concentration of women and the highest amount of money that they make, it's coming from MLM. If you look at women specifically, so that belief was already there before I even saw Beachbody. Okay. I believed in the business. So you don't have to be making the money. You don't have to have the successful team to believe, but you do need to study it if you don't believe it today. So go out there and study success in MLM, study success at Beachbody, listen to some of the top coaches. You have to believe that it's possible. Okay. It is possible. I haven't said that you have the ability yet. We'll get to that, but you have to believe that yes, it could work. So that's number two. Then number three is the final kicker, and that's belief in yourself. And that's a hard one for a lot of people when you first come into it is, can I be that person? I remember I was sitting at Summit with Rachel, and I love one of the things that she said when we saw some of the folks standing on stage, and she's like, it's hard work. That's really all it is. She's like, these people, there's nothing about them. It's just hard work. And Ashley just recently saw Melanie Mitro, who's the first coach to ever hit top coach 3 times in a row. And I think she might do it for a 4th. She's still ranked up there, possibly going to get it her 4th year in a row. And she kept saying she didn't wow me. She just worked really hard. So number one, belief in the product. Number one is strong belief in product, business, and yourself. And I'll dive deeper into those as well as we go along. The second one is a strong commitment. You've got this ship that you're asking people to join you on, okay? And that person that you're inviting, if they feel that you are on a wandering ship, why would they join you? If you convince them that, hey, this is a great product, or maybe they're already using it and they love it, and they start getting excited about the business, why join you if they feel like that ship is a wandering ship? And here's little things that happen that show someone it's a wandering ship without you realizing it, okay? If you're posting about the business and then all of a sudden you stop, or you stop posting about your journey, if you embrace the coaching opportunity and you put it all out there for 2 months and then you start wavering, it tells people, I'm not sure if she's consistent, and that ship is a little shaky. And so you are subconsciously sending that message. Now, on the flip side, when that story is so secure and you're consistently sharing it, that your ship is moving forward no matter what. There might be setbacks. There will be setbacks. There might be things that get in your way, but that ship is moving forward no matter what. That's a ship that makes me feel comfortable joining, okay? Number 3 is to remain coachable. And I feel like that's something our team does very well. When I look at the coaches on our team, that's something I'm really proud of, is that we have a lot of, everybody is very open-minded about learning, but remain that way at any point in your journey. Look for training, seek training, become a master of your own education. Don't wait for someone else or your coach to hand you that info. Be the one that goes out there to look for it, because you are 100% responsible for your failure or your success. Remember that. All right. When people talk to you, when you talk to people, going back to that confidence in yourself in the business, do you sound like you're apologizing when you ask them to join you? Almost like you feel bad about asking. People are super intuitive. And when I say asking, I could be talking about challenges or coaching. It doesn't matter. Do you feel like you have to say you're sorry for asking them to join you? Or are you very confident in what you're doing and you realize that you're doing a favor by asking them to join you? So remember that posture of confidence, okay? There's that posture in the words that you use, how you talk to someone. When I have a challenger that I want to invite to coaching, and I feel like I've gotten to know them in the challenge, I don't approach them of like, do you think you might want to do this? Do you think you might? Those are words that make me feel like, okay, I'm not quite sure. I'm not even quite sure of the business. I'm not even quite sure if I want to ask you. Or say something along the words of like, girlfriend, you are just crushing this challenge. I want you on my team. Let's talk about coaching. Has that ever crossed your mind? Right? So do you see how those two messages come across so differently? So having that posture of confidence, you know, if someone said that to me, I wouldn't think, oh, you are, oh my God, you're so bold to ask me. No, I'd actually feel good about myself. I'd be like, oh my gosh, she wants me on her team. I feel really good. And that right there, that characteristic, so I want you guys to think of 2 different things. When you see a leader, actually 3 things can happen. Either one, you're pulled away from that leader. You look at someone in a leadership position and you're thinking, I don't feel good about them. I don't have a good vibe. The second way a leader can make you feel is you can feel really good about the leader, right? So you can look at the leader and think, they are amazing. And you actually feel a little intimidated. The third way that you can feel about a leader is they make you feel better about yourself. So when you invite someone to coaching, you want to think, when they walk away from this combo, do they feel better about themselves? Not about you. You don't want them to think you're amazing. You want them to feel better about themselves. And the way you do that is a genuine compliment. So before asking someone, I want you to think about something. Why would you want them on your team? Why would you want them on your team? Tell them that. Share that with someone. I love the way you're so positive on our challenge page. I love how you're so positive on our challenge group page. Right? I love that positivity you bring. That's why I want you on my team. So think about why you want them on the team. And if you can't think of a reason, I've actually had to do this a couple times, then that person probably doesn't belong on my team. That might not be someone I want on my team. So think like, what is something this person does that makes me want them on my team, and tell them what that is, because they're going to walk away from that conversation feeling better about themselves. And that's charisma. That means you as a leader is making someone feel better about themselves, not just about you. It is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable to ask people to join you for coaching. I know it because it's uncomfortable for me. As much as I've done it, it does get a little bit easier, but it's still uncomfortable. So you also have to be very secure in your why. What do you want so badly in your life that you are willing to make short-term sacrifices for the long-term success? And that short-term sacrifice is that feeling of uncomfortableness. What is it that you want so badly? You've got to think about your story. It's funny when I message people now and I talk about coaching, I'll have a lot of them tell me, I know your story. I know your corporate story. I know this. I know. It's weird. I'm like, you do? You know my story? But I've shared it so many times that people are starting to know my story. So do people that are following you know your story? What is the formula for your story? What if you haven't locked your story down? What if you're a brand new coach and you're not sure how to come up with that story? So write these 4 things down. The first part of your story is your background. Who are you? What's your background? The second part of your story is what don't you like? And don't feel bad about this. When I was in corporate, I felt really guilty saying what I don't like. Well, there was a lot I loved, but there were things, it wasn't my company, guys. And I know that sometimes we have that guilt. It's like, I don't want to talk bad about it. We're not. And I very rarely go that direction. What I didn't like was every time I wanted to go somewhere, I had to look at all my PTO and add up the hours and think about what I had coming up in my life. I mean, I remember those 3 letters came up in my conversations with my family and my husband more than anything else. I got to check my PTO. I got to check my PTO. I got to see how much PTO. I don't know. We're getting married this year. I got to save my PTO. That's what I didn't like. It was that feeling that I can't control my own life. So what don't you like? How could or how has Beachbody helped you? If it hasn't made a change in that life yet, how could it? So for me, it's earning that freedom. It's that I have that option. Hi, Stacy. I'm earning that freedom. So Beachbody, how has it or how could it help you with that thing that you don't like? It's that my goal in the future is anytime I want to take a vacation, I never use those words PTO again. And then either results. So what are the results that you've found? Because for me today, I can genuinely say I no longer have PTO. But if you're not there, that's okay. How do you feel about the future? So if you don't have that story yet, how do you feel about the future? And I started posting about this long before I ever left. And it's that I'm excited and I'm hopeful about the future and I will make this happen because I am that pumped about it. Okay, so this is a little assignment I want you guys to do. And I want you to stay away. I want you to think about characteristics. Stay away from like what that person is and rather just like characteristics of your ideal coach. List 10 things. So 10 characteristics of your ideal coach. And I'm going to share mine with you and you'll probably have some that are similar. I want someone that's hardworking, someone that doesn't make excuses, someone that is confident but still humble, someone that's ambitious, someone that has a magnetic personality, someone that is driven, someone that takes initiative, someone that wants to be a leader even if they're not today, someone that is kind. That's an important one for me, someone that is kind. And someone that is also a little bit competitive. I like that competitive nature, that wants to win. So those are 10 things that I like in a coach. That's something that I feel like that would be an idea. If I could find a person that had all 10 things, I'm like, oh my God, would you want that person on your team? Those 10 attributes. Now I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to go back and I want you to look at every single one of these things. And I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on every one of those things. And it's okay if you're not a 10 on all of them, guys. I purposely put things on here that I'm not a 10 on every one of them. And I want to go back and I want to look at where I'm not. And those are the things you've got to work on because no thanks. Confident is not going to sign up with you. That confident person is not going to sign up with someone who is too scared to talk to them. Think about that. That ideal person is going to look for someone that has those characteristics. So those are the things you want to work on. And working on ourselves, investing in ourselves, that's where your personal development comes in. I saw a training recently and it talked about the people that you really want to attract are watching you. They're watching you, but some of the best ones out there are not ready to join you yet. They're not ready to join you because they want to see how long are you going to stick this out? How long are you going to do this? And they're also looking for these characteristics. The strongest people out there are also sometimes the most skeptical. So they're looking to see, okay, do you have these qualities? Because I don't know if I'm ready to join you yet. All right, the next one's the hard one, and that's expose yourself. Now you have to take all these attributes that you're looking for. You've got to put them out there, guys. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what the number one reason is why people join a multi-level marketing company? Do you guys know? The number one reason. Anybody? I'll unmute you if you raise your hand. Someone asked them to. It really is. Like someone asked them to join. That's why. Not all of us. Jess just went and did it online. That's what I did too. I just went and did it. Ashley, hold on. I'm going to unmute you. Yeah?
So I actually know a statistic. Well, I don't even know the numbers for this, but when I worked at Best Buy, I was a cashier, and we had to add the protection plans, and they would spit out statistics to us about people who just bought those things because you simply asked. And that's how I was the best at selling those. I just asked everyone.
All right. Everything. You put it out there.
9 pair of headphones. Would you like a $3 protection plan?
Because how many people walk up to the counter and they're like, by the way, is there a protection plan for this? You know, it makes so much sense. So yes, you get lucky. Yes, you log into your back office and you see Jessica's name up and you're like, oh my God, someone actually wanted to join me and I never had to ask them. You do sometimes get lucky. But even Jess's story, I had to call her right away because she was taken away from me 24 hours later, by the way. I'm really glad I contacted her immediately. But with that said, I went online and I just signed up. But there's almost 200 people on our team right now, guys. I can tell you right now, it's easy to say 175 of them probably were asked. So the number one reason people join an MLM is because someone asked them to. So if you're not asking people, why would people join you? You have to realize that. It's just simply not a business where people are going to go online and simply start applying. Now, the other thing you want to think about is if you're not asking the people you know, somebody else is. Somebody else is. Most people do not go online and research 20 different multi-level marketing companies and then decide this is the one I'm going to join. They join the one that someone asked them to join. All right, so how do you ask someone, especially if you're a new coach and you don't feel like you've built that team yet where you can say, like, I'm leading this huge team, I have all this success. So how do you ask someone? You ask someone to join you on the same journey that you're on. So this is what I'm doing. Would you like to join me as my business partner and we can learn to do this together? We can build this thing together. And that's what I did. I mean, when I approached Ashley, she worked with me at Corporate America. Guys, I don't even think I was a diamond coach yet. I think I was an emerald coach when Ashley joined me. But it wasn't, hey, I'm doing amazing things already. It was like, I have goals to do some amazing things and I want you to be a part of it, Ashley. I want you to do this with me. That was it. That was all I could say because I didn't have anything else. So when you're talking to someone, I want you guys to really think about form. So asking them questions about themselves, if you already know them, really talk to them, build that relationship again, especially if it's someone you haven't talked to in a long time, and get these words out of your head. I want to get someone to sign up. You have to get that out of your head because then you're making it about you and not them. And I will say, I think one of the things that's helped me more than anything in recruiting is a crazy level of patience. I never really think about someone as a no, and I tell them that. My message is always, when it's right for you, we are going to do some amazing things. When it is right for you, we're going to do, I know you're not ready yet. I might have already talked to them about it and they show major hesitation. And it's like, I get it. You're not ready yet, but trust me, girl, we are going to do some amazing things. And people love that. Like the response, I just messaged a girl yesterday and she's like, I still don't think I'm ready yet. What's funny is the first time I talked to her, she said she doesn't have time. And then we kept talking about it slowly. And then the time changed into, I don't think I'm ready personally because of her own journey. And some people just can't get that out of their head as much as I don't agree with it. And I wrote her back and I said, I'm going to leave you with one thought because I know you're not ready, but I'm going to leave you with one thought. And that's that I became better on my fitness journey when I became a coach. And I know you're not ready, but one day you're going to do this and you're going to do some amazing things. And that person responded so happy. Because they saw that I believed in them, Even, and I'm not trying to close them, right? Always have that attitude of patience, but also let the person know we are going to do this together one day. We're going to lock arms and we're going to do this. Okay, so 8 steps after you build that relationship, whether it's already built or not, after you've already, and by building a relationship, I don't just mean a new relationship. Let's say it's someone that you've known for 10 years. You still need to talk to them about their life, what's going on in their life, what are they happy about, what's stressing them out, just kind of talk to them. So after you've gotten to that point, how do you approach the business? So share and compliment. Those are steps 1 and 2, and they go hand in hand. Jess, I have to tell you, like, I am so excited about this team that I'm building, and I want you to be a part of it. Those food pics that you post all over your Facebook, people are going crazy over you. And I love that brand that you're forming. I think you would be an awesome coach. Is that something that you would be interested in learning more about? Okay, so I'm giving her a reason why I want her, right? It's not just a random compliment. It's a true feeling as to why she would do very well as a coach. Ask questions. Is that something you ever thought about? Is that something you'd be open to learning about? And then I say, and this is the kicker, if I send you a video, a 7-minute video, mine is 7, I like 7, would you watch it? And if you guys have not recorded your coaching video, do it, okay? Record, and you can watch mine if you want me to send it to you. And so you can take like some aspects from it, but record your 7-minute coaching video. 6 to 8 minutes is kind of like my general rule. I had one that was 20. It was awful. So 7 is my new one. And then immediately after, wait for them to say yes. Would you watch it? Yes, I totally would. Right after that, schedule the follow-up. Awesome. When do you think you'll have time to watch it? I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Okay. Do you mind if I follow up with you after you watch it? If you do not do that step, you're going to do what I did, which means you're going to send that video out to 30 people and then never hear from them again, because they're never going to watch it. After I send you when do you think you'll be able to watch the video? I'm going to watch it tonight. Awesome. Do you mind if I follow up with you tomorrow? I did that recently, just this week, with a gal, and she messaged me back before I followed up and said, I just watched the video, and then just hit me with a bunch of questions. So when you put that in their mind that you're going to follow up, they're going to watch the video. Okay, this is the one that's tough for a lot of people. When they hit you with those questions or you follow up and they say, yeah, I watched it, do not ask them, what did you think? I did that a lot. It's total waste. Don't ask them, what did you think? Awesome. I want to get on the phone with you now that you heard my story and what coaching's all about. When do you have time to chat? Get on the phone with them. Get that person on the phone. And then on the phone, talk to them about their fears or objections. If I can get someone on the phone, it is 9 out of 10 times that they are joining the team. I'll tell you that right now. If I can get them on the phone after they've already watched the video. The trick is if you can get them on the phone. If I can't, then if you can get them on the phone, that person is almost a guarantee they're going to join you, because they already know what to expect. Guys, you know why they're getting on the phone with you at that point? They just want to make sure they like you. They already know what the business is about. They have a good enough idea. I knew less about the business when I joined. I never saw a 7-minute video. They're getting on the phone. If they decide, yes, I'll take that call, they're deciding if they like you. And if they don't like you, I don't want you on my team. So don't stress about, oh my God, are they going to like me? Right? Like, if you don't like my vibe, then maybe we're not meant to be. But here's the truth. They're going to get on the phone with you and they're going to start feeling comfortable. You're a real person. You're not just someone on the internet or a friend that you haven't talked to in 10 years that doesn't care about them. If you skip that phone and you're just sending a link to get signed up, that's a tough one. I'm telling you right now, it's a lot harder. And I'm talking about people that aren't already in your challenge group. Challengers are a little bit easier, but like actually talking to someone about the business, you get them on the phone. Okay. Okay. Some tips for success. Number 1, you have to emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. This entire year, I've talked to a lot of people about coaching. The one on paper that looks the best is the person that's told me no twice. Why does she look the best? She's already promoting health and fitness more than I or anybody else on my team is. She literally is like everything health and fitness on her page. She's someone I really like. Like, I really like this person that I met online. We got together for coffee and she's really cool. She's like a promoter of women and confidence, and she's very successful in her job, and she's obsessed with health and fitness. This is someone that's like the perfect coach, but she's told me no twice, and you have to be okay with that, you guys. You have to emotionally detach yourself from that outcome. If you get so caught up in that emotionally, it is going to derail you so much that you're not going to be able to talk to anybody else about it. And the truth is, that same week that she told me no for the second time, someone else joined the team that I am so excited about. If I had been an emotional wreck because of this person, I would have never gone out there to meet that next person. So you have to emotionally detach yourself. When you're on the phone with them, you have to assume they are joining you. And so how do you say that? I am so excited because you are going to love our summit experience next year. We have trainings on Sunday. We get to all see each other. I can't wait to introduce you. It's going to be so much fun. You've got to assume that they are joining you. You have to listen. Listen more than you talk. So how do you do that? Because it's not always easy. You have to push the conversation along by asking questions. The only way to listen is if they're talking. And if they're not talking, then you have to get them to talk. And that's by asking questions. One of my favorites is, what is holding you back? So what's holding you back? And then the last tip for success is that practice makes you better. Doesn't make you perfect. It makes you better. If you stop doing this for a couple weeks, it is so much harder to get back on. I have a rule for myself, and this is something I do every single day. I try to book one coach call per day. I don't care if they don't actually happen. I don't care if they flake on me. I don't care if I never talk to them. I don't care if it's 2 months from now. Every single day, I try to book one upcoming coach call for the future. So every day I'm like, did I get my coach call? And it's on my list of daily tasks that I do is book one new coach interview. I sometimes will get more than one, sometimes less, but I do not want to end a day without booking one in the future. So I always have them coming up. And I literally, I'm like, I need to book one person to talk to about coaching. I got to book one person. Okay. All right. This goes back to that why of yours. Your reason why you even want to do this. And you've got to really think about that ideal life for yourself and your family. And then you have to be able to say no for a little while so that you can say yes for the rest of your life. And you have to believe that's a possibility. And for me, I'll tell you guys the truth. And for most people that I talk to, the number one thing that comes into my mind is television. I'm not going to cut out time with my family. I might wake up earlier than my family, like Todd, and so I can get some work done. But I'm not going to not spend time with my husband, right? I still want to see my friends. You know, television is like the number one thing I will tell you guys that I believe is a time-sucking waste. And it's a tough one because it's part of our life, and you look at Facebook and you see all these people talking about different things that they're watching. But if you feel like you don't have the time to accomplish your goals, that is the first thing I will tell you to look at. And the next thing is that you must be willing to work on you. So Tony Robbins talks about this thing called the cycle of success, and it's this circle. And I always start on the side that says belief and result. So on this side is result and belief, and on this side is potential and action. So if you have a result, right, if you've seen results in yourself, whether it's physically or mentally, those results, they translate into belief. Why do I believe in Shakeology? Why do I believe in PIO? Because I've seen results. Why do I believe in personal development? Because I've seen results. I've seen results in my coaches and me. I've seen my life change. So that result and belief is over here. If that belief is strong and it is so deeply rooted, then you will see your own potential. You will see your potential. And that potential will drive you to take massive action. So result, belief, potential, action. That massive action, what is gonna happen from that massive action? You're going to start seeing more results. And it's this cycle. And the scary thing about this cycle, guys, is that it goes the opposite way too. If I'm not investing in myself, my personal development, my health and fitness, my belief is going to start going down. Then I'm not going to see a lot of potential in myself. And I will be scared to take action. And then the less action I take, the less results I see. That's why working on ourselves, I truly think, is the entire thing that gets this whole cycle going. Hi, Avery. Hi, pretty girl. Her little piggy. Always got a little piggy. So you've got to work on yourself in any way that's going to make you better. Personal development, you've got to work on your health. And I know, guys, there's 3 of us on this call that I actually know are going through, that have gone through in this summer. Tough when it comes to results in our own physical fitness journey. We've gone through some tough challenges this summer. That does not mean you're always getting stronger and better. It doesn't mean that 5 years in your coaching journey, now you're a bikini model. It means that wherever I'm at today, I'm going to do something to make myself better today. It doesn't mean I have to be, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not physically better than I was a year ago. Okay. I was leaner. I had more muscle. I could do a little bit more. That's not what I'm comparing to. I want to do something today to make me better than when I woke up, maybe better than yesterday. So work on yourself, personal development, physical fitness, and health, so that your belief in what we're doing gets better and better. And then you start to see your potential, and your potential, when I start thinking what my potential is, I want to take action because I realize I want to get there. I'm so excited about my potential. And then when I take massive action, what is the result of action? You will see results. And you keep going into the cycle, because then you're going to see results in your business. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to start having belief in your business. And then you're going to see your potential, the next step in the business. All right, I'm going to end on one little note for you guys, and then I'm going to let you ask some questions. I want you to create a list of 10 people in your life who you want on your dream team. I don't care if that person has said no to you, by the way. If there's a challenger that said no, or anybody in your life that said no, if they're on your dream team, I want you to think about why. Think about those characteristics. Why do you want them on your team? And work on yourself to make sure you've got a 1 out of 10. You've got a 10 score on those characteristics. And then I want you to go back and ask that person again why you want them on your team. It doesn't mean they're going to say yes. We're not emotionally attached to the outcome. But that dream team, I'll tell you guys right now, I just did it with my sister. We just took a little diamond sheet and we wrote out her dream team. And it is so powerful to see why you want these people, because those are things you're going to work on yourself. It doesn't mean they're going to join your team. Those are the things you're going to work on. All right, I am going to unmute you guys if you like. Does anybody want to chat, add something, or ask a question? Hi, Avery.
Hi.
Piggy. I know you love your piggy. So cute. That's her little dream team right there.
Multiple pigs everywhere.
So cute.
See that tail?
I love it.
You gotta lift it up a little higher. There you go. See?
Oh my God. So cute. Just like you. Hey guys, do you have any questions, any thoughts? Did that help? What are you thinking? Share with me. Jess, what are you thinking?
I'm definitely, I feel like I'm going in the right direction. I feel like I can finally start moving now. I'm not just going to be working on me anymore.
I love it. And don't forget, you work on it. You really can do both at the same time, and they feed into each other so much. You never want to feel like you have to stop working on you. In fact, you can work on others if you stop working on you. And so
I know.
never ever feel like that.
I'm finally, take the step to add that on without feeling too overwhelmed.
I think you're doing it the right way. I love your journey. I mean, you haven't been a coach very long. I think you're hard on yourself too. How about you, Rachel?
What am I thinking?
Yeah, share.
I've had like physical stuff going on and kind of like making dietary changes. So kind of trying to like figure out how to fit this all together and make it work for me.
And that's the key, guys, is share your journey and make it work for you. It's not a one size fits all. Ash?
I really like that list. I think that really helps because I'm not uncomfortable asking someone to join my team, but for some reason I'm more uncomfortable asking them if they want to get healthy. But it now made me realize like I can easily look at that list and then decide what question I'm going to ask them. And because that's something that Melanie said yesterday, she's like, if you don't want to hang out with them, don't ask them to hang out with you.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough one, guys, because there will be some people I'm like, I have to ask them, because we're talking or maybe they comment. And if you don't get that vibe from someone, don't. But on the flip side, if you do get that vibe, don't hold back, right? Like, who do you want to surround yourself with? Stace, how about you? I'll unmute you. There you go.
Okay, perfect. No, everything you said is really good. Sorry I jumped on so late. I'm jumping in. You recorded this though, right?
Yep, I'll post it in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I need to sit down and take some notes because I heard some really great things. Everything completely always resonates with me, what you say. As you know, like life has just been all over the place. So I'm really excited to kind of get back on track and reach out to people more. I've done, I think, a decent amount of both inviting coach and, coach and challenger level, but definitely not what I usually do. And I know my business is representative of that. So, like I said, I'm just like ready to get back on track. What's that?
I said, you'll be fine. Don't jump right back in.
Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. I can tell you that right now. But
you're going up. You are going
but if I could be like 100 honest, like this is, I'm at a little bit of a low in my business, but that's okay.
Let me tell you guys something about being a low in your business, because I think it's important to talk about that and not just assume that it's not a big deal, because I've been in lows in my business. Last November, we moved. It was right when I quit my job. And quitting my job, you would think that's like a high in my business. It actually was the worst month I've ever had in my business. I wasn't recruiting. I barely hit Success Club. It was really the lowest point. I got really focused on the move and kind of felt like I was in a really weird place, right? So it was last November. Yeah, last November when we moved here, and I quit my job November 15th. And I remember like thinking to myself, I have this great story to share of quitting my job for Beachbody, and I have to put that out there. I waited almost a month to even post about it on social media because I was in such a weird place in my business, right? And you have to think like, if you're having these thoughts, people around you are going to feel them too, right? And there's a reason actually like my team didn't do that well last November either. And you want to do a couple things to make a change, right? Instead of just feeling like it's going to go away. There were some specific things that I did to change it. Number one, and I will tell you guys this is my go-to, find a new book that inspires you. We do so much personal development that I think we unfortunately think all personal development affects us the same. For me, it was end of December that I picked up that book, Get Over Your Damn Self. And it spoke to me at a totally different level than any other personal development I've done. And that I truly attribute that book to, it's one of two things that completely turned 2017 around for me. The second thing that I did was I found someone to check in with on a regular basis, and it was Mary from corporate. It doesn't need to be someone from corporate though. Right? It could be anybody. It could be a coach on the team. And the trick with that though was she asked me what I was going to do for Success Club and how many coaches I would recruit. And I knew I had a call with her and I would have to tell her that number. And I was so just in my mind, I didn't even care about like Success Club. I still wasn't like in a good place, but I didn't want to let her down. So I was like, oh, I don't want to get on this call if I have to give her a number that I'm not proud of. And so those two things, it was that book and it was knowing I have to. Now with that said, you guys know I'm trying to go for an elite goal right now, right? It's interesting. In Summit July, I felt really good. Then August came, early August, and I truly in my mind was like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. And I kind of took a step back from really focusing on that. Now that I have less time, I'm actually more focused and I feel like I'm going to do it, but nothing has changed. I'm still the exact same stars that I was in August. So why is it in August, I felt crappy about this goal, thinking I didn't have enough time. And now I'm a month and a half away from when I felt like that and I feel better about it. What did I do different? I'll tell you what I did. I found a book that spoke to me. I was reading a lot of personal development and nothing was clicking. And I knew it wasn't clicking because I wasn't excited to read it. I read this book called Fascinate, which is awesome about building your brand, but it's not what I need right now. I just kept reading these books and I'm like, I feel like I'm just checking the box on personal development, but nothing was speaking to me. And then I picked up this book called Grit. And it's about, seriously, how to not be a quitter. And it all of a sudden, it was just like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. I have like 6 half books that I've like read half of, and I haven't moved past that because they just were not speaking to me. And it was like a chore to do my personal development. So if you're feeling that lull, don't just check the box on personal development. Find something that speaks to you. Find something that empowers you. If you don't, you're going to just check the box and end up the same place you did the next day. Yeah, sure, my marketing skills got better from Fascinate. That's great. But that wasn't really the area that was the problem, right? It's that I wanted to quit on this goal, and then I felt really crappy about wanting to quit on my goal. And then I was in this cycle of like feeling sorry for myself and not feeling so good. And it just like starts to, right? You're in this awful cycle. So I needed something to speak to me. And I kept like going I'm not kidding, guys, for like 2 weeks, every morning I'd pick up a new book and I'm like, what's it going to be? It's painful. So you have to find something that really speaks to you. The second one is you've got to share it with people. And I think I've told Rachel this, I think I've told Stacy this, and that's your physical journey. And Rachel, you did. She was talking the other day about how yoga is like finally something that's speaking to her and working for her. But keep sharing that. Share the state of like semi-depression you went through too, right? Like having an ailment and not being able to do the one thing that helps you. Don't hold back from sharing because you're not the only person out there. And when you do share it, it almost is like you're taking your burden and you're moving it off from you, right? Like it's crazy how it works. And now it's not this like thing that you're like almost ashamed of, like, oh, I'm a coach and I can't even work out. And it gives you this like awful feeling. Or I'm a coach and I'm so focused on my house and I'm using the time excuse and I'm telling other people not to use the time excuse. And I feel really shitty about myself. Put it out there and tell people what that feeling is so that it's not eating you from the inside. And it'll feel so much better. And you can move past it, right? Like if you don't feel great about your business today, put that out there, guys. I have some really big goals for myself. And in the last month, I put my goals on the back burner and I feel really crappy about getting back into it. It doesn't feel good. I had other focuses, and I'm not saying I regret it. I'm simply stating a fact. I had other focuses and it moved me away from my goal for my business. And I'm putting it out there that I'm getting back on. And if you guys want to do this with me, jump on this ship because it's moving. I'm starting this ship again. You don't have to feel ashamed of that. People are not watching you expecting that you're this coach that never has setbacks. They are watching you to see if you quit. They want to know it's okay to have a setback because if I join you and I have one in my life, can I get back on? That's what they want to know. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go because I think we are getting close to time here and I don't want to take up more of your Sunday unless you guys have any questions or anything you want to hit me with. All right, next week I'm talking about free groups because Clean Week launches October 3rd. And I have some very, very good tips on running a free group. I'm going to encourage all of you to run your own free groups, but I'm going to show you a formula for how to do it that's been a lot more successful for me than the other ways I've done it where I didn't really see much success, okay? So I want to talk about free groups, how to make them successful, and how to turn them into challengers, all right? So that's next week's topic is free groups.
And are you going to record that one also?
I'm going to record them all as long as I don't forget for some reason. I plan to record all of these.
Okay.
I'll put them to YouTube so you can catch them in the future.
Okay. I'll be on a plane, so.
Yay, where are you going?
New York.
Fun! Ooh.
Yeah, I'll be coming home, leaving on Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. You're going to your mom. How fun.
Yeah.
I'll be recording. Yep.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Have a great week. If anybody wants accountability, email me your goals, and I will hold you accountable to your goals. That's totally open to anybody who listens to the call in the future, too. All right, guys. Have a good Sunday. Meal prep.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, guys.